Just talk regularly? Okay.
Yeah. Hello, people. We are currently going to do the Blank Number podcast, and today we are here with
Crystal Everett.
Kay, and our interviewer is going to be
Joseph Cabby.
and
It works. All right.
Oh, I feel like I should be in the screen more. Okay.
Speak up, Mr. Caddy.
What was your experience? What was your experience like gaining a degree in public relation and psychology?
It was actually sociology. And so I would say I didn't even know what sociology was, so I went to college. But public relations was a degree. Initially, I wanted to be a journalist, but then I decided that I didn't want to do that, and so public relations was close enough, and so it helped me just think about relationships and all those type of things and how they can matter when I was getting different jobs, and so it was overall a good experience. I went to Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, and graduated in 2010. And so both of those degrees, I think, have helped me along the way because they just gave me a lot of different skills and not just focusing on one type of career.
What do your program leader join Morn
Marion, yep.
Marian Kauffman Foundation?
So as a program leader, my job is to I get to work with all the school districts in the Kansas City area. So before I went to the Kauffman Foundation, I actually used to work in Kansas City public schools and help support real world learning. So you all are doing this real world learning experience here. Being able to have a podcast, you all have done your preparation and got me here interviewing. I know you've had people like Dr. Collier, Dr. Franklin, different people that are in KCPS. So you all are getting some real world experiences right here with Ms. Cook and being a part of the tech team. But a part of my job is just to help all the school districts in the Kansas City area really think about real world learning. So I get a chance to visit schools from Blue Springs to Olathe, come back to KCPS, and really just help them think about how they want to offer really good, really fun, really quality real world learning experiences for students.
How do you make a difference as a program leader?
How do I make a difference? That is a great question, Yusuf. I think I would like to think that I make a difference by being able to ask the right questions. So when we have people who are trying to learn about how to get real world learning experiences in their schools and help bring business partners along, I like to think that I get to ask the right questions and make sure that we always keep students at the forefront and making sure that things are good for you all and not just for the adults.
What is the Marley
Ewing Marion. Yep.
Marian Kauffman Foundation, and why did you want to work there?
You said what is it? So it is it's in the field of what we call philanthropy. And so Mr. Kauffman started a pharmaceutical company and really wanted to make sure that in Kansas City people had opportunities to for economic development, but as we say, and really being able to like have access to going to college and those type of things. So this foundation that's here in Kansas City, a part of what we do is we give out grants to local nonprofits and different organizations that are really helping people really kind of change what their lives look like over time. So when people have the option to go to college, there have been different programs from the Kauffman Foundation that have paid for people to go to college from like their for all the years that they decide to go to college. Different programs to help them if they want to run their own business. And so I really wanted to work there because I thought it was a good opportunity for me to be a part of that and being able to support Mr. Kauffman's vision for Kansas City.
Before you go any further, I got a question out here in the background.
Okay.
What is philanthropy? I mean, that was like a big
That
word.
is a big word. So philanthropy is I would define it as basically an opportunity to give money to, like I said, local nonprofits and different initiatives in whatever area. So sometimes nonprofits they need money to execute their mission. So if I think of Restart, for example, they help families that are experiencing homelessness, and so they might go to the Kauffman Foundation to say, "Oh, well, can we have money to help support people so that they aren't homeless or unhoused anymore?" So philanthropy is really just an opportunity to help with money and other resources. So not always just money, but money is a big part of it to really help people in different situations.
My bad. What is real learning? What is real world learning?
What is real world learning? What do you think real world learning is?
I don't know.
You don't know? Give your best guess. So when you hear that term, what is it? What does it sound like? What does it feel like?
Being successful.
It's what?
Being successful.
Being successful. I think that's definitely a part of it. So like I said, this opportunity to do a podcast, even if I think back to, I would say podcasts aren't really a thing when I was in middle school. So we'll start there. But real world learning is giving students really an opportunity to figure out what they want to do now, like what is interesting, what is fun to you, and then maybe how you make it into a career, or even just how you get better at it. So if I think of podcasting, for example, like I said, I wanted to be a journalist, right? So different journalists might have podcasts where they are like investigating true crime, or telling different stories and those kind of things. But real world learning ultimately is, we want students to have internship opportunities to maybe take some college classes, maybe learn how to start their own business, those kind of things. But really, we want to make sure that we give students the chance to say, I like this or I don't like this, and not just go in your classroom, read a book about science, but maybe the cool thing is that you get to go um, to a place outside of school and learn more about it. So really making it real and relevant for students.
I got a question outside here.
Yes.
This one's for Joseph. Joseph, the other day you were talking about what you wanted to do with your life. What do you want to do?
Be a truck driver and a mechanic.
Okay, so that would be like very real, right? Right. So how do you get to that point?
You work for it.
What do you got to do to work? I mean, how do you become a truck driver? You just get out and just you're like, you know what? That sounds fun. I know it's gonna make a lot of money. I'm just gonna go out and just get in the 18-wheeler. Boom, I'm ready.
Like, you gotta go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's where that real world learning comes in.
Yep.
Right.
And I apologize. I was calling you Yusuf, so your name is Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna correct myself there. So Joseph. So you said truck driver and mechanic.
Yeah.
So in Kansas City Public Schools alone, and so I used to work here, so I know this. And so there's a career technical center that has auto collision and auto technology. So even when you are junior and senior in Kansas City Public Schools, you can go learn about that. So that would be a real world learning experience where you get a chance to learn about that in high school. And so then by the time you graduate, you have this certification and you can go directly into being a mechanic. So that's when we say real world learning, we're giving you that chance to do it in high school. And then you don't even have to pay for it. So the school district pays for it. So you get a chance, and maybe you do it and you're like, you know what, I really don't like that. I hope that's not the case. But at least you get a chance to try it out before you pay a lot of money for college or different programs, and then you decide you don't like it. So you can go to manual tech as a junior or senior and learn how to be an auto mechanic. Take a car down there, fix it up. A lot of students have their own cars, and that's exciting. That keeps them going to class because they're fixing a car that they will get a chance to drive and get to learn more about. So all those different things are what we call real world learning.
What inspired you to make a book about your child?
What inspired me to make a book about my child? Should we hold it up here? For I wouldn't even say promo, but just so people can see. So Mari and Mommy Movie. It was the year was 2020. It was quite a year for us in the world. And so At that time, my daughter was 2, almost 3. And so when I'm reading books to her at night, and I really just kind of got this idea, like I could write a book too. And she loves to sing and dance, still loves to sing and dance. She's 7 now, but it was just an opportunity to say, I want to give her something that she can see herself represented, but then also just being able to think about, me wanting to be an author and a writer and being able to put it into a book. So it's just something that's given me a lot of different opportunities. I had the chance to go to Fort Scott Elementary School, which is elementary school at Fort Scott, excuse me, just like an hour and a half away, and go read my book to kindergartners, first graders, and second graders. So really, it's just been a really really cool journey. But it all kind of started with this spark of, we had all the children's books for her, and I said, well, I can do it too.
I see the book real quick.
You can see the book. There you go.
So what do you think, Joseph?
I haven't read the book yet.
Yeah, I get it. But look, we had a podcast going, but afterwards you can for sure
Yep.
read it.
Yes. Do you have younger siblings?
Yeah.
Okay, you can read it to them.
There you go.
What job did you want to do before becoming a program leader?
That's a good question. I really did like the job that I have in working in the school districts, being able to help put together real world learning experiences for students and being able to work with teachers, being able to work with principals, administrators, those kind of things. My ideal job is to not have a job, but since I have to have one, since I have to have one, this one is good. I do like to write, and I have a blog. I think you all were doing some researches, and you saw my website. So I do like to write things every now and then. So it might be cool to have a job where I just get to write and do fun stuff. But for now, this is where I am. I do like my job, but if I didn't have to work, that would be awesome too.
What high school did you go to, and what was it like?
I graduated from Lincoln College Prep long time ago. No need to disclose the year. I'm just kidding. But I went to Lincoln Prep. What it was like, it was overall, I think it was a pretty good experience. I think it gave me a chance to somewhat be prepared for college and think about, kind of what I wanted to do. We had what I felt like were pretty supportive principals and teachers who were challenging us in a good way. I had a chance to be class president when I was in high school and be a part of the pep club and do different things. And even outside of school, I worked at Cold Stone Creamery, used to work at World of Fun, had a couple different jobs. But as far as high school, it's kind of funny looking back at it now. There's things even I wish I would have done more of, but overall, I enjoyed being a high school student.
So, like, what did y'all do in Lincoln, like, when you was young in high school?
What, for fun?
Like, yeah.
I remember on Tuesdays we just got a Buffalo Wild Wings in Raytown. It's not even there anymore. But Buffalo Wild Wings used to be 35-cent wings on Tuesdays, so that was kind of a fun thing that we used to do. My mom's house is not too far from Lincoln, so sometimes that was the place to kick it and have fun after school, going to basketball games, football games. The world was a different place about 20 years ago or 20 plus years ago when I was in high school. What you all might consider fun, I don't know. I feel like when I say it out loud, it doesn't sound as fun, but it was fun for us, at the time.
Were you were you a good student, and how can you teach me to become a better student?
That was your actual question.
What would you say is a good student in terms of grades, in terms of behavior? What do you mean?
Like, to get like A's all the time, because some classes.
You think I had A's all the time? No, I did for the most part. No, I think I graduated with like a 3.8 GPA. There was math always tripped me up. I used to get B's in math class and pre-calculus with Mr. Jagana. Um, I would say it really is prioritizing for me, and that's actually one of the reasons why I didn't do sports. Um, I don't know if people can see, but I'm pretty tall, and so I get the question all the time: "Well, did you play basketball? Did you play volleyball?" I didn't, but I didn't understand that you could be a student and be an athlete. I really wanted to focus on being a student, and I think maybe I could have been pretty decent at sports, but I really just decided to focus on school, and that was the first thing I did when I came home from school was do homework, um, and really make sure that I was organized and on top of school, just because that was kind of what my mom expected of me as a student, but also just something that I've always liked school, and so it became a priority for me. And you said how can you be a better student?
Mhm.
I think I think it's finding the classes and different things that you like, but also just seeing it as school right now is really that investment in your future. And so even if you don't like a class, but being able to, I think one of the things in life in general, if there's a class you struggle with, is really asking for help. So if you have to go to tutoring, it's not a bad thing. If you have to have other people read over your homework just to make sure that you got it. Being able to say, you know what, I really don't understand, but help me understand. And so those are things that help me be a better student, really in college more than high school, to be honest.
Do you speak any other language? And if so, what are they?
I thought that question was funny. So I took a Spanish class in high school. It's not great. It's not fluent. I can hear some words, and I even took a German class in eighth grade when I was at Lincoln Middle. So I can count to 10 in German, but that's the extent of my not bilingual. I shouldn't say that.
What is your superpower?
I like that question when I saw it. I think my superpower is the ability to help connect people, and have relationships with people that aren't just, well, I just want you to be my friend because you can do something for me. But um, I do get a lot of energy sometimes from knowing people, being connected, and people might say, "Well, I'm trying to reach out to this person who needs this. Oh, well, I know this person," and then helping them connect and just kind of grow from there. But I really do value, relationships and knowing people. It's kind of I would say a glow and a grow. Since I'm from Kansas City, been here not most of my life. I graduated from high school, then lived in like Iowa and Arizona, then ultimately came back to Kansas City. So it's kind of cool being back home and experiencing Kansas City in a different way for me. But really, just I think the superpower of helping to connect people and really just have good relationships.
What is your favorite TV show, book, or movie?
One for all three. Should I answer all three or I just pick one?
And if you want,
Okay, my favorite TV show it's an old TV show, but I watch it all the time. Just I start it back from the beginning. It's called Living Single. It was made in the '90s, but it's a really awesome TV show about friends who are living in New York and just how they navigated life. My favorite book is called A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. Do you know who that is? Okay, who was he?
I don't remember, but I remember the
You,
name.
you remember the name? Okay, so he ended up being president of South Africa, but he was in prison for 27 years for speaking out about injustices and discrimination and apartheid in South Africa. So I had a chance to go visit South Africa, I want to say in like 2012, and see, where he was in prison for all those years. But really being able to read his book and his story is been impactful. And my favorite movie, it's called The Wood. Um, about some friends in Inglewood, California. It's one of my favorite movies.
That's all the questions.
That's all my questions. Okay, well that was fun.
Thank you for answering all the questions.
No problem. This was fun hanging out with you all today.
Does anyone else have any more questions before we wrap it up?
No.
All right.
Well, this is Joseph Cabby, and
Crystal Everett.
we are signing out. See you later.